Well, there's been some good news for the tourism, travel, and hospitality industries in Arkansas as of late. Employment up by more than 7,000 workers year over year. Sales tax collections are strong, reflecting more visitors spending more money in Arkansas. And the capital city of Little Rock is obviously a major beneficiary of that traveler business. I sat down earlier to talk about what's now and what's next with Gretchen Hall, the president and CEO of the Little Rock Convention and Visitors Bureau. Be a chance to be a cheerleader for Little Rock. There have been a lot of good things happening in the city's tourism, hospitality, convention and visitors bureau business here. Give me your elevator speech and give me the cheer.
Sure. So we've seen great growth in the tourism industry. We continue to be Arkansas's #2 economic industry. We've seen tremendous growth in our visitation. I believe for 2015, Pulaski County saw almost 6.2 million visitors, and that's up from 5.7 in 2014. So those are huge growth numbers. We're seeing growth in our hotels, our number of hotels, and also in all of our destination amenities and visitation. And of course, that leads to economic impact.
So what's driving all that? What's driving an increase of 300, 400,000 visitors to Arkansas? What's doing that?
I think our location. We're pretty easy to get to. We're less congested. We have a lot of variety as far as our amenities go. We're conveniently located within the country. Our convention and meeting numbers continue to increase. Our sports numbers continue to increase. So all of our activities, festivals, it's giving people more reason to travel. And I think people are staying a little closer to home. So it's an economical option for people to have a short vacation here in Little Rock.
It also helps too that gas prices a little bit lower.
Absolutely.
That makes it easier to travel. But there has to be more in kind of the marketing mix on this, the messaging that's going on, the targeting that's going on. I think a lot of people probably just think, well, people come because it sounds good or they see something online or a brochure, but there's a lot of science that goes into it, and I think a lot of people don't know that. Can you kind of give me a little bit of the inner workings of how you guys are selective about who you try to attract?
Absolutely. So from a meeting and convention standpoint, it's all about our facility offerings. It's what matches up with the convention center size, the sports facilities that we have that match up with those variety of different youth sports. So it's all about what we can accommodate from a meeting and convention standpoint. From a leisure tourism, it's a totally different perspective. Primarily our leisure market comes from a drive market. So as you mentioned, the gas prices are really helping us, but we really focus our marketing efforts on those contiguous states around Arkansas and anything that's within a 2.5 to 4 hour drive within Arkansas, and we see that being our largest numbers.
So you mentioned kind of some of the visitation numbers here, but that translates into jobs, it translates into taxes. So I'm going to hit you with a couple of Pulaski County numbers here.
Okay.
13,000 travel-related jobs, $31 million in travel-related local taxes, $69 million in travel-related state taxes. That makes you pretty popular at City Hall, does it not?
Well, I hope so. We have a huge impact, and of course we're proud of that impact, but it doesn't stop. You've always got to continue to tout what you have that's new and fresh, and we always want to continue to increase our awareness and grow those numbers everywhere we can, because it does affect the entire community.
Well, let's talk about innovation, because I've heard this through the years, so you either confirm or deny this for me, but you have to be innovating your tourism product. You have to be innovating what draws someone to come to your city or to your state. Does that mean you've got to bring new things online? Does that mean you got to take something that's been here forever that might have nostalgia and find a way to freshen it up? What does that mean?
It's kind of a variety of those things. So we try to continually recreate and freshen up things. Maybe it is an old thing. Maybe it's pulling several things together. A couple of examples, we just pulled together last year a group called Locally Labeled, and it was highlighting all of our local beer and our distillery and our wineries, because craft beer continues to be very, very popular, and we've got a growing community of that, along with the artisanal food. Now we've kind of packaged it all together, and that's like a new product for us, and we're seeing great usage of that brochure and that pamphlet, and all of our breweries are really proud of the awareness that has created.
People come to Little Rock, people come to Arkansas so they can taste these beers and dine at these restaurants?
Absolutely.
But there's other stuff too that's attracted them.
Absolutely. So once we get them here, then they've got additional activities to go out and adventure. Our Arkansas River Trail, the biking community continues to grow. That's one we tout. We're seeing a lot of additional niche marketing for specialty activities that we're trying to capitalize on.
Recently, you guys held a press conference kind of tout where you are in the last 5 years, where you're going in terms of the vision for the future, and you talked about something that's coming, a travel guide that comes to Arkansas, that just coming to Arkansas to do 16 and 48. What is significant about 16 and 48?
Well, it was a promotion around National Travel and Tourism Week. So once a year we try to continue to tout the impact of travel and tourism, not only on health benefits, but also the economic impact here locally. And we hosted a PBS show host called Darlene Newman, and she's doing an entire show on Little Rock. It will air later this summer, but she created a 16 and 48 for us. It was her top favorite 16 things to do in Little Rock that you can cram into 48 hours.
What was one or two of them? Do you remember?
Sure.
Or do you know what they are yet?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So River Market District, the Soma Essie Purse Museum, that's a really unique attraction. She actually put Essie Purse Museum on one of her most weird and unique museum lists nationally, and so we've gotten some national press out of that. A couple of the breweries hit the top spot. Simms Barbecue, one of her favorite barbecue spots. So it kind of runs the gamut from activities, museums, to food and beverage.
Interesting. Obviously, everybody's got their eyes focused on what's happening around the Broadway Bridge, and you've got the Robinson Center auditorium. That makeover project is going to eventually come to a close this year even. Give us an update on where we are with that and what that is going to position you guys to do.
Sure. So we're actually in the 6-month countdown. We're on time. We're going to open back up in November. It's been a tremendous project. It's almost $70 million. A lot of local subcontractors have helped with that project. We've got a great design and construction team. It's been a hard road to toe. There is a lot that we're redoing. I'm very excited about that ribbon cutting and what that facility will offer Little Rock and Arkansas in the future.
You found a little bit of a way to even do something more on the backside of it. Some people aren't aware of that. We reported on it, but what's going to happen on the backside now? You found the money.
Absolutely. So we've got a beautiful conference center on the backside. So now it's an all-glass modern structure that overlooks the Arkansas River, and we're going to have a beautiful outdoor outside terrace that will be on top of that conference center. It will be the largest meeting space outdoor in Central Arkansas.
You're already marketing that facility for bookings.
Absolutely.
Correct? So tell me somebody that's going to come into that wouldn't have come before you had that renovation.
Yeah, so we've got a couple of national conventions that we've already locked into place. The Sweet Adelines Convention, the American Choral Directors Convention, and a couple of others that are still tentative on the book. And of course they're coming because it's a world-class performance center, but they also need that conference center and meeting room space. It was a win-win for them. We've got them locked in. The Arkansas Governor's Conference on Tourism will be there when we open the doors. And then of course from the Broadway perspective, the Phantom of the Opera will anchor the new grand opening season.
Yeah. You worried about the downtown construction project? Been a lot of debate over what's going to happen with the highways and how that's going to impact downtown. Where does your stand on that?
You know, naturally, construction is going to affect people ease and convenience of getting in and out, and a lot of the businesses are concerned about that. The Broadway Bridge continues to work offline, but then the I-30 corridor project where that develops, I will say I am pleased with where the Highway Department has been listening and altering those plans, and their new split diamond plan seems to address a lot of the initial concerns.
Yeah, it seems to be getting a lot of consensus too from the press releases.
Yes.
Filling up in my box here.
Yes.
All right, so one thing that we're not thinking about now in terms of destination Little Rock that we should be or we will be talking about in the near future. Give me something a little forward thinking here that it's not on people's radars yet.
I think infrastructure is going to be key for our growth in the future. We've seen a lot of growth on the hotel side, but they're primarily smaller limited service properties, 100 to 125 rooms each. We are seeing the utilization of the State House Convention Center continue to grow year after year. So in the very near future, we're going to need to talk about expanding that convention center. With that also needs to come an expansion of the hotel rooms adjacent and connected to it. In addition, we're looking at the need for an indoor multi-sport sports facility. We did a research study for that and the feasibility study last year and rolled that out. We're still looking for funding opportunities, but I think there's huge potential for increased business there if we can build the right sports facility for youth sports.